Why does Norman Finkelstein not condemn Hamas? Norman Finkelstein is a Jewish academic and activist who is known for his harsh criticism of Israel and its policies towards the Palestinians. He has written several books and articles on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and has often expressed sympathy and support for Hamas, the Islamist movement that controls the Gaza Strip and is considered a terrorist organization by many countries, including Israel, the United States, and the European Union. Finkelstein does not condemn Hamas for several reasons, according to his own statements and writings. Some of these reasons are: he believes that Hamas is a legitimate resistance movement that is fighting for the rights and dignity of the Palestinian people, who have been oppressed and occupied by Israel for decades. He argues that Hamas has no other option but to use violence, since Israel has denied them any peaceful means of achieving their goals. He also claims that Hamas has shown moderation and pragmatism in its political positions, and has offered to accept a two-state solution based on the 1967 borders. He views Israel as the main aggressor and violator of international law and human rights in the conflict, and accuses it of committing war crimes and crimes against humanity against the Palestinians, especially in Gaza. He cites the reports of various human rights organizations and UN agencies that have documented Israel's use of disproportionate and indiscriminate force, its blockade and siege of Gaza, its destruction of civilian infrastructure and livelihoods, and its denial of basic humanitarian needs and medical care to the population. He challenges the narrative and propaganda of the mainstream media and the political establishment in the West, which he says are biased and complicit in Israel's crimes. He criticizes the double standards and hypocrisy of the international community, which he says has failed to hold Israel accountable and has imposed sanctions and isolation on Hamas and the Palestinians. He also exposes the influence and pressure of the pro-Israel lobby and the Zionist movement on the public opinion and the policy making in the West. These are some of the main reasons why Norman Finkelstein does not condemn Hamas, according to his own words and works. However, his views are controversial and disputed by many other scholars, activists, and commentators, who accuse him of being anti-Semitic, anti-Israel, and pro-terrorist. They argue that he ignores or minimizes the violence and extremism of Hamas, its rejection of Israel's right to exist, its use of rockets and suicide bombings against civilians, and its violation of the human rights and democracy of the Palestinians under its rule. They also claim that he distorts or falsifies the facts and the history of the conflict, and that he uses inflammatory and hateful language against Israel and its supporters.